we move on to our very last speaker and also give him a really, really big applause. Peter Sandkuijl. Peter, you're VP Engineering at Checkpoint.
Yes.
Welcome here
Thank
on
you.
stage.
Thank you.
We saved probably the best for last.
It's 10 minutes, right?
No, it's 8 minutes. Time starting now. Good luck.
High energy presentation, 24 years of my life trying to explain to you what I learned while you guys are looking at me thinking, I know that company, they're trying to sell me stuff. Right? This is the attitude I find in my salespeople when I try to educate them what CISOs are about. And I have a clicker. So one of the slides that I will actually be able to show you is, we move forward. That's not it. It's a technical thing. It's too hard for me. There we go. There we go. So one of the things we find out is the persona of the people that we speak to. So CISOs are not CISOs. And I want to add a little bit of an edge to the conversation today. There's been a lot of chest pounding. You guys, well, at least the presentations that I saw today describe the perfect CISO. I meet a lot of them that are on their way to become that. So my reality is it's not all that easy. Some of you are coming from a technical and operational direction. They were probably people that I spoke to in the past when they're explaining to me, here's my network operation problem. Here's how I need to operate my firewall. Here's how I need to segment my network. A lot of my engineers still speak to those people today. A lot of those CISOs today that speak to me tell me my history is actually there. I managed firewalls. Now, we do see another direction as well. I was really happy to see that many research companies confirmed my findings, because what I tried to put together in the slide is really what I see in the market, speaking to customers and CISOs across EMEA. We also see people coming from completely a different angle. These are the tough guys for us to talk to. They come from a legal and compliance standpoint. They're the ones, the unicorns still wearing ties and a matching suit, right? And they're pretty dry to speak to. They don't see the sexiness of the cybersecurity market that we're in. They rather follow the rules and make sure the SL sheet is filled out, and once a quarter we fill out the compliance checkboxes and off you go. And we're all doing great, right? Nothing's going on. I can't see anything that's wrong. Where many of you aspire to be but struggle a lot is try and make a more meaningful role, be more strategic as a CISO, influencing the strategy of the organization and making sure cybersecurity is a topic of discussion. As an example, I didn't hear any of the previous speakers talk about the constraints and the problems you're having trying to assure budget. That's really tough, right? How do you translate cybersecurity, which is, if you talk to the wrong people, an insurance, translate it into, no, this really is something that we need to do to run our business and our business continuity. That's challenging, right? It's a tough conversation to have, because we got guys like my sellers that try to sell you stuff where you're trying to convince the board that the dollar or the euro they can only spend once needs to be spent on your initiative and not on a new shiny marketing campaign or anything else that they might have in mind. If you haven't read this, I would absolutely recommend you to do so. I like to listen to audiobooks, so this is an audiobook. It's the CISO Evolution, effectively explaining how you get to either from a tactical and legal corner or from a more operational corner into trying to speak the language. If you're the one trying to drive change to your board, it's you who needs to change. The board's not going to change because they didn't ask for change, right? So try to get into a mindset that says, what am I aspiring to do? How do I get into that mindset? And how do I recognize to see the opportunity rather than why can I not? Because I can assure you there's many people that can do a great job at telling you why it cannot be done. Now, if we see priorities and talking points, this should be recognizable and relevant to you, right? If you try to summarize all of that, all of the changes that we see in the market, all of the new technologies that are coming our way, how do we protect our people from effectively using AI in a fashion that's usable, but still not allow all of our PII to be leaked out to the internet? First thing our sellers did when we said, here's ChatGPT, they dumped a customer database and said, write me a good story so I can talk to the CISO. That's really not what I was looking for. I was rather thinking for them to be a bit more clever and try to think about, okay, where is this going to go? How does it work? And we figured out it's our job as security practitioners to prevent people from making mistakes. Awareness is one, but at some point they're just not going to realize because they're in the day-to-day business, they're in the stress of doing things, And we need to also apply technology to allow them to really do the jobs as they need to do it. A lot of that will mean you will start hosting large language models in your own data centers. Yes, I know there's something called the cloud. Not everything is supposed to be in the cloud. That's what you'll figure out, right? It's not the utopic element of let's move everything to the cloud. I think digital transformation is about a lot more than simply moving to the cloud. It is really looking at how do you run your business and how do you, and I heard it before from Decipher, really cool, build security into your fabric, into how do you build your business. If that's a digital business, a digitally fueled business, make sure that the building blocks already have security thinking mindset inside. That will mean any operator running an additional workflow will automatically have the security element built in. Now you got to start thinking about, so when is it secure and what access do I want to allow? And that's the tough part. That's where you need to start building policies around it. All of this together is supposed to build you as an organization to be resilient. Conversations we're having with CISOs today are about business resiliency. I don't speak about our company's products. I hardly speak about my company's technologies. I speak about what are you challenged with today. I know you're tight for budget. I know you're tight for people. By the way, a call out in the little time that I have, if all of you are suffering from a shortage of people, I would recommend you to do something about it, right? Because leadership is not saying this is a problem. Leadership is saying, okay, you know what? I will run an associate program. I will get young people, motivate and excite them, educate them, and get them into the industry. There's 3 million shorties. We're not going to fix it by saying it's tough out there. I'll pay them a little bit more money. In my last 30 seconds, 4 areas of interest that I wanted to highlight, and it's just going to be highlighting. CISOs are under stress, and you guys know this, but I think organizations should really realize that this is something that's going on, and it's not hard to do, or it's not easy to do that job, and there's not a lot of recognition. For instance, in Ireland, 3 years ago, health insurance in National for Ireland, they were massively attacked. I got to look at the number, 473 legal prosecutions at the moment. 3 years ago, still suffering from providing evidence, figuring out what the procedures were back then, why did the data get lost, etc. We spoke about NIS2, and I do believe that cybersecurity as a crime is really going to hit you. But finally, think about this. This needs more thought leadership from all of us. With that, I'm out of time, and I would like to thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Peter Sandkuijl. Peter.